Stephanie Hannon's persuasive speech audience.
Amir.
Sam.
George.
Yeah.
Aber.
Caitlin.
Carol Ann. Terry.
I'd like you all to pull out your cell phones and go to the first social media network that comes to mind and tell me how long it takes you.
Done. A second.
Done? A second? How long for you? Okay. As you can see, it's very easy to access these social media websites and the internet. According to Common Sense Media, 75% of kids aged 13 to 17 have at least one social media network. You guys got to it in a matter of seconds. That means at least 75% of kids are on these just as quick. My name is Stephanie Hannon, and I want to tell you the importance of parents monitoring children's social media network use and internet use altogether. There are three main groups that I'd like to touch on. Cyberbullying is one of them. It is a hot topic that many people have spoke about. Sexual exploitation is also another one that can be very serious and very dangerous. All of this leads up to children's life choices, and many of them are being made on the internet. My first topic, cyberbullying. Many kids are doing cyberbullying because it's easier than bullying in person. No one's there to see it right there in front of them. They go online, they get to act tougher than they are, they get to say whatever they want because there's no first-hand repercussions right in front of them. According to kidshealth.org, 1 in 4 kids have reported being victims of cyberbullying. 1 in 4 people. We have 8 people here today. That means 2 of you could have been subjected to cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is extremely important to catch early on. There are many signs of it. If your kids are constantly on the internet and then they start up depressed habits like not eating right or having angry outlashes, there are signs to catch this. Bullying victims are 2 to 9 times more likely to commit suicide according to the Do Something campaign. 2 to 9 times more likely to commit suicide. Those are great numbers. What would you do if your child committed suicide over getting bullied by their peers and you could have found out about it and you could have prevented it? I'd like to bring up a story of a girl named Amanda Todd. She was a 15-year-old and she got cyberbullied to the extent where she ended her life. One day she was chatting online with a man who flattered her, made her feel beautiful when she was at a very low point in her life. He asked her to show him her breasts, and she did it without thinking twice. She thought, hey, it's on video camera. It's never going to be seen again. It's just once. And when she did that, he screenshotted a picture, so he got a picture of her flashing her breasts. He then internet stalked her for a couple years, and she started receiving blackmail and threats from him. He said if she didn't perform more sexual acts via the computer, then he would send her whole school her picture of her flashing her breasts. She, of course, did not want to do it. She was so scared and terrified because he had her school, her address, all had names of her friends. It was not a good scene. She didn't do it, and 2 days later, at 4 o'clock in the morning, a policeman came to her door and said that her picture was released and was spread all over. Right at that moment, kids started calling her all kinds of names. They called her a whore, slut, completely disrespectful names that ripped her self-esteem down. She hated her life. She couldn't go 20 minutes without someone blowing her up on social media, on the internet, and just bullying her completely. She would go to school and get bullied, all because of one choice she made on the internet. This led her to self-medicate. She started doing drugs, started consuming alcohol. She had no lower point to get in her life. She ended up making a YouTube videos of flashcards such as these, and they told her story. They told what she did and how she felt. And a couple days later, of Amanda Todd, and surrounding her picture are all clips from her video of her flashcards. They say things like name calling, I was judged, I started cutting every day, nobody liked me, why am I still here? I wanted to die so bad. When he brought me home, I drank bleach. I would like to pass this around and have you guys just look at these. Look at her comments and how far her depression went, all because of an online bullying situation. She did a sexual act, and that is not uncommon, and that's what brings me to sexual exploitation. According to internetsafety.org, they put a statistic out that said 20% of teens have sent or posted nude or semi-nude photographs or videos of themselves. If you're not monitoring your teens on the internet, they could be sending these pictures to strangers that they don't know, their girlfriends or boyfriends that they believe they trust, and these people could be saving these pictures and dispersing them throughout the world. No picture, even if they delete it, is really gone. The internet saves everything, and that will always forever be there, and that could always come back to haunt them. The San Diego District Attorney says that 75% of internet crimes involving sexual exploitation of children and exposure to unwanted pornography is not reported to police or parents. That means 75% of the time, a sexual predator could be coming in contact with your child or teen. It's not getting reported. Would you like to know if a stranger, a 40-year-old man, is trying to get naked pictures of your 13-year-old daughter? I'm sure you all would want to know. This is a very serious matter, and it's slipping by parents and law enforcement because there's no monitoring of the parents. They need to do their part. That brings me to my last topic, life choices. When children and teens are on the internet, they have access to anything they can think of. Google is a tool everyone uses. They can Google what it's like to be on acid, what kind of drugs to take. There's YouTube videos of people doing drugs. There's videos of violence, what it's like to be in a gang. They could choose whatever topic they wanted, and they could act on that. There's plenty of bad websites. There's not only porn, there's websites where people meet to have sexual relationships, all things that teens may see, they may run across, and they may get interested, and they won't know how to stop. These are all bad influences that can come over on your teens. And if parents monitor their kids and monitor the websites they're on, they can put a stop to it. It's not invading your child's privacy. In the end, it could be saving their life. Children and teens can make really bad mistakes when they're young and naive, and they won't know it at the time. Some may, some might not. And it can haunt them for the rest of their lives. I would encourage you to protect your families. Protect yourselves if you are a teen. Don't make these bad choices on the internet. The internet and technology are a really good thing to have, but it's not okay if it's misused. As a parent, you should feel the need to check up on your child and what they're doing on the internet. Nowadays, schools have homework on the internet and legitimate reasons for your child to use the internet, but it only goes so far. I'm not saying that all social media is bad, but you need to make sure that your child is not being a cyberbully. You need to make sure they're not being cyberbullied. You need to monitor everything that you think that is important to. Don't second guess yourself as a parent. There's plenty of mistakes that can be made. And again, you need to protect your families by monitoring their internet use. Thank you. All to ask me any questions that you may have about my speech. Any of you have questions? Why are you so passionate about this subject? I'm so passionate about this because it really hurts me to see the younger generations that are truly suffering because of the internet. Seeing stories like Amanda Todd, where she ended up having to end her life because she had no other source to handle how she felt and handle the bullying she came about. And all of this can be prevented if parents just monitor their children on the internet.
Why do you think people are cyberbullying?
I think people cyberbully because it's easier for them. You can act like whoever you want on the internet, and you can act as tough as you want. You're hiding behind a computer screen. You're not in person. So that makes people more apt to act tougher than they are and want to be more cruel to people.
What are the consequences of sharing photos on the internet?
There's actually teens who are sharing naked photos on the internet, and they are getting arrested for child pornography. It's a very serious matter that I don't think teens think about, and they could be even registered as sex offenders. So it's a very serious matter.
How are parents supposed to prevent kids monitoring everything that kids do on the internet when they go to other places to get the information?
There's not a way to monitor 100%, but you can do things such as limiting your child's time. Don't allow them to have computers in their room or laptops. Have a main computer set up where you can look at the history and you can monitor what websites your child's on so it's in clear view. At schools, they have high blockers against websites. You can always try to get blocks on your computer, even though some kids are smart enough to get around it. On smartphones, you can limit the access they have. You could even not allow them to have internet access. But if your teen or child is responsible and is doing what they should, checking up on them, even if they have a phone and you want them to have that capability, don't let them have a password on their phone, or just periodically check it. And then just talk to your child. It's just as important not just to monitor, but to tell your child the importance of internet safety. And if you're an advocate with your child and you're honest, then you'll get better results. Any more questions? Nope. Well, thank you. Guys, now I'd like you guys to give me any comments or critiques about my speech. Anyone?
Very good, very informative and persuasive. You had good eye contact, and it's something that you sounded passionate about.
Thank you.
And interesting.
I mean, a lot about cyberbullying.
And not to do it.
Yes, no.
All right.
You were able to back up your information and inform us on our questions.
Well, thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed it and learned a lot. Thank you.